Everyone, my name is Jada Ms. Gonzalez. The title of my presentation is Race Division in Prison Must Stop. I will start off by giving a bit of information of how many inmates have gone to prison throughout what years and what race they were. Then I will talk about 3 of my main points of why I think this should stop. And at the end, I will tell an idea that I think might help solve this problem. Okay, so let's get started. In 2006, Black inmates started at 2,261, Hispanics was 1,073, and whites was 324. Now at the end of 2018, Black inmates have gone down to 1,501, Hispanic 779, and white 268. The percentage for the Black has gone down 34%, for Hispanic it has gone down 26%, and then for white it has gone down 17%. As you can see here, there's a chart that better shows of what I'm trying to explain. Now in 2018, I found an article that compared the U.S. adult population to the U.S. prison population in 2018. So for the Black population in the U.S. was 12%. In the prison, it is 33%. Now for white, it is 63%, and in prison, it is 30%. For Hispanic, 16%, in prison, 23%. So the Black prison population nearly triples for the U.S. adult population. Now for the white prison population is about half of the adult population, and then Hispanic prison population is less than the adult population. And then as you can see as well, there is a chart that better shows you what I'm trying to explain. Now in 2020, I found an article that states Black and white prison population is 40%, Native American is 2.30%, white and Hispanic is 58.7%, and then Asian is 1.50%. As I was reading along, I found the chart that went with it. So in this chart, it is also comparing prison population and the U.S. population. So white is 53.7% for prison population, the U.S. population is 76.50, Black prison population is 37.50, and the U.S. population is 13.40. Native American is 2.30, U.S. population is 1.30, and then for the Asians, 1.50, and the U.S. population is 5.90. In this chart, it did not show the Hispanic population, and as I was reading along, it also did not say anything about the Hispanic population, so I'm sorry about that. Now, to go to my 3 main points why this segregation is stopped. Point number 1 is it can cost you your life. Point number 2 is some inmates are forced into joining their group. And then point number 3 is it is in a way a tradition that must stop and that must change. So my first 2 points will go hand to hand as I explain the 2 examples that I have. I watch a lot of documentaries on law, court cases, or how the system works, and I recently watched a documentary on the prison system. And in this documentary is where I found my 2 examples that I'll be explaining. My first example is a inmate who is white. He is already part of the white group of the inmates, but he wanted to also um, hang with the other inmates or of a different race. Now, in the prison system, when they have lunch, you must eat with your own race. This inmate wanted to eat with another race, so he went to eat with his other friends that were black, and the white inmates did not like that. So they kept watching him, seeing if he was gonna come back soon, but as they saw that he wasn't staying with the black inmates, they started planning on how to either teach him a lesson or to end his life in a way. They did tell him that he must come back soon or something was going to happen, something that might cost his life. This inmate did not listen, so he did get attacked. It did not cost his life, though he did survive, but he has returned to the white group and has not eaten lunch with the other races now. So he was in a way forced to go back and stay with them. The other example that I have is this young inmate. He just came into prison. He is Hawaiian, but he does look black or Hispanic, so he got to choose what group he wanted to be, but he did not want to choose. He said he was Hawaiian and he was raised by Mexicans. He had lots of friends that were white and black, so he just wanted to be friends with everyone. He didn't want to choose a group. He didn't want to be like everyone else. They did not like this, because at lunch he would eat with whites, then next lunch he would eat with blacks, then Hispanics, and that was not seen as something good, because they think that you are giving out information that shouldn't be given out, that you are snitching on each of the different groups to each other, which is something bad. So the black and Hispanic group got together and they went to this inmate and they told them, look, you have to choose a group or else something bad will happen to you, like the example I gave before. But he still did not want to choose a group, so they forced this inmate into a room where the guards could not get to quickly, and they told the black group to jump him into the group. It works the same way as when you're joining a gang member, you get jumped into it. So they forced him to get jumped into the black group so he would finally have a group. In a way, it was for his safety, because everyone was really suspicious about him not having a group and did not like that. But it is also bad because he was forced into it. He couldn't just be friends with everyone like how he wanted. Now the solution that I have that I think might help is putting all the young inmates into one cell pod, all the newcomers, so then they could be friends with whoever they want of whatever race. And then this way it would slowly get rid of the separating. It would take time, but I do believe this would help if we just put all the young inmates in together, and then for the newcomers that will be coming in throughout the years, they know that they don't have to be with their own race. They could just be with whoever they want to be. That is all for my presentation. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and got a lot of information out of this. I hope you're having a good day or a good night. Bye.